Hey friends, and welcome back to a brand new video all about Poppy Playtime Chapter 5. Today we're going to talk about one of the most mysterious and fascinating characters in the entire Poppy Playtime universe, the Prototype 1006. Who is the Prototype really? What does he look like? And most importantly, what could his real face be? In this video, we're going to try to answer all of those questions by analyzing every official piece of information we have so far, from documents to VHS tapes, from audio files to hidden images. But not only that, we'll also dive into new theories, some of which are seriously creepy, about what could truly be hiding behind this mechanical and terrifying being. We'll talk about his physical characteristics, his movements, how he could appear in the final chapter of Poppy Playtime. We'll uncover clues, connections, and even hidden references that might reveal far more than we ever imagined. But before we begin, as always, don't forget to drop a like on this video. It really helps me keep this Poppy Playtime series going. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss what's coming next. Because in the next few videos, we'll be breaking down every single detail of Chapter 5, and there's a lot to talk about. So get ready and let's dive deep into the dark and twisted world of Playtime Co. Today we uncover all the secrets of the Prototype 1006. Let's start first with what we actually know about the physical appearance of Prototype 1006. We'll go through this part quite quickly, but it's essential to build a real identikit of this creature. First of all, one of the few things we know for sure is that the Prototype possesses a robotic arm. We've seen this arm several times in the tapes and in two scenes from the previous chapters, and it's one of the most recognizable and disturbing features of this creature. But that's not all. In Chapter 4, we finally caught a glimpse of the shadow of its legs, a very brief moment, but one that revealed so much. The legs of the Prototype seem similar to those of a mechanical spider with an unnatural structure. And if we carefully observe the size of the shadow, we can tell that the Prototype is much larger than the player. We're not talking about a simple humanoid creature, but a true mechanical monster of big proportions. He is a horror character. However, there's one crucial detail we must remember. The Prototype doesn't have a fixed shape. We know that it can change its appearance, adding to itself parts of other experiments or even other creatures from Playtime Co. That makes it a constantly evolving being, a sort of living hybrid that grows, adapts, and reshapes itself over time. And this information comes directly from one of the most chilling scenes in the entire saga, when Mommy Longlegs, before dying, says that unforgettable line. "He'll make me part of him, you can't do this to me." A sentence that confirms every suspicion. The Prototype assimilates. It doesn't just destroy, but it steals, merges, and transforms. It's as if it were trying to build the perfect form, crafting its body from the remains of every other creature it encounters. And that is one of the most terrifying and fascinating traits of Prototype 1006. It's not just a terrifying experiment, it's an entity in constant evolution. A monster that grows, adapts, and maybe prepares to become something far greater. As we've seen, Prototype is not just a machine made of metal or a failed mechanical experiment. It's much more than that. The Prototype has the ability to absorb the parts of other characters and make them part of itself. Every time an experiment dies or is destroyed, there's a chance that the Prototype collects the remains, reassembles them, and integrates them into its own body. This means that when we finally see it in Chapter 5, we won't just see a robotic creature. We'll see a mechanical being, yes, but one made of pieces and fragments of many other experiments, like a living mosaic built of metal, synthetic flesh, and recognizable toy parts from previous chapters. One of the clearest examples of this theory involves Mommy Longlegs. After her death in Chapter 2, we know that the Prototype collected her body. In the final cutscene, we clearly see his mechanical arm dragging Mommy's remains away, which is clear proof that he assimilated her. But that's not all. In Chapter 3, we also witnessed the fall of Catnap, the main antagonist of that chapter. Prototype collected his body, and that opens up a huge possibility. In Chapter 5, we might face a creature that contains parts of Mommy Longlegs, Catnap, and maybe every other experiment we've defeated so far. Let's take Banzo Bunny as an example. You remember him, right? In Chapter 2, we face him during the musical memory minigame, and after we defeat him, Mommy Longlegs hangs him from the ceiling of the game station. But there's a detail many players noticed. During the rest of the game, Banzo disappears and his body is gone. And that sparked two very interesting theories. The first theory says that Banzo simply managed to escape, maybe hiding somewhere else inside the factory. The second, and maybe the creepiest one, suggests that he was taken by the prototype, that the prototype collected him, disassembled him, and integrated him into his own body along with the others. And when you think about it, that second theory makes a lot of sense. Throughout the story, we've faced and defeated many experiments and antagonists. All of them could, in one way or another, have become part of the prototype. So, in Chapter 5, when we finally see it in full form, we won't be facing just one monster. We'll be facing every monster combined into one. A creature that carries the remains of everyone who ever dared to challenge it. Now let's talk about something really interesting. Maybe the most mysterious aspect of all. The head and face of Prototype. And this has led to so many theories about what he might really look like. Today I'll show you 3 of them. Theory number 1. The Prototype might have a fully robotic head. This theory is based on everything we already know about his body. We know he has a robotic arm, mechanical legs, and an overall metallic structure. So, following that logic, his head would probably have the same kind of design. A mechanical head, with sensors instead of eyes, a metallic mouth, or maybe an artificial voice system. A creature that's purely robotic, cold, logical, and emotionless. Theory number 2. As we've seen before, the prototype can absorb parts of other characters. That means, over time, he might have changed his head multiple times, replacing it with the heads of other experiments. Imagine a head that doesn't belong to one character, but is actually a mixture of several mascots fused together. Pieces of mummy long legs, fragments of catnap, or maybe even others we haven't met yet. A head that mutates over time, deforming and evolving alongside the prototype's body. A face made of other faces, like a horrifying mask formed from the souls of all the creatures he's consumed. And maybe that's the reason we've never seen him completely, because his face is not definitive. Theory number 3. And now we come to the most recent, and maybe the most intriguing theory of all. In the official header image of Chapter 5, the hand of the prototype is holding the head of a Poppy doll. At first, many thought it was just symbolic. But others have gone a step further, suggesting something way darker. That the Poppy doll's head might become part of him. Of course, it's just an extra theory. But if it ever turns out to be true, Chapter 5 could show us one of the most terrifying creatures in the whole franchise. Prototype 1006 will be the heart of Chapter 5. And when we finally see him, we'll realize that everything we imagined so far was just the beginning. As always, let me know in the comments which of these 3 theories you think is the most believable, or if you have your own idea about what his face could really look like. I'll read and reply to your comments, because your theories are one of the best parts of this community. Thank you so much for watching this video until the end. You are amazing. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye, friends.